tanker crashes and explodes into flames. The accident has stopped traffic for hours. What WBZ found when we started digging into the driver's background.
Jerry Remy's future, his decision on whether he'll return to the Red Sox broadcast booth.
Another blast of frigid air moving in right now, plus a big snowstorm in the southeast. We'll let you know if it will affect us here at home.
And a New Hampshire family's search for a bone marrow donor leads them to a perfect match.
It means the world to us.
The stranger who could help save a 2-year-old boy's life.
Live from our studios in Boston, WBZ News at 6 starts right now.
Now at 6, a fiery crash in Fall River. The driver saved by a stranger. But does this accident raise safety concerns? A team of federal inspectors now coming to Massachusetts. I'm Lisa Hughes.
And I'm Jack Williams. The truck crashed and caught fire on a ramp onto Route 24 northbound this morning. It took hours for firefighters to extinguish the flames and clean up the mess. Traffic, of course, was at a standstill. This is video from the state police of a trooper heading right through the gridlock and to the plume of smoke up ahead. We have team coverage tonight. Christina Hager shows us what we have uncovered about the driver. But let's begin with Bill Shields on the accident. Bill is live in Fall River right now.
Jack, as you alluded just a moment ago, 11 hours ago, what a difference. This was traffic Armageddon. Now, everything on Route 24, moving fine. What's interesting is when that tractor trailer rolled over and burst into flames, that truck driver was still right in that cab. A good Samaritan came by and helped pull that truck driver to safety. Right now, she's hospitalized, but only with minor injuries.
Is when I looked out the window and you see nothing but smoke going, covering this whole area.
It was 7:15 this morning when the tanker rolled over, and it was loaded with 11,000 gallons of gasoline.
It's contained. It's in the truck, and it just keeps burning down until there's nothing left to the shell of the truck.
It was on a ramp off of Route 24 in Fall River, and when the tanker caught fire, a passerby helped pull the truck driver to safety.
And supposedly she sustained a shoulder injury, and from what I understand, she's okay.
Then thick black smoke began blanketing a nearby neighborhood.
Then we heard several popping, like kind of explosion sound, and every time it exploded, our window shook below. And then as it gets bigger, we were concerned that we didn't know what it was at the time.
E's son shot this picture from her back deck, and her neighbor took this video.
It was a lot of fire. It was a lot of, people running down the street. It was a lot of chaos. Seeing the flames, I kept backing up, getting scared. He kept telling me it was fine.
The truck driver has been identified as 46-year-old Lisa Korch, who was just recently hired by the trucking company J.P. Noonan of West Bridgewater. Police still aren't saying what caused the accident, but the thick black smoke billowed into a neighborhood where some people were asked to evacuate.
And I have daughters living in the vicinity. I called them. One was going to the dentist. I told her to take the dog with her.
And again, that truck driver suffered only minor injuries, thanks maybe in part to that Good Samaritan. That Good Samaritan, we made contact with him. You will hear from him tonight at 10 and 11 o'clock. Reporting live from Fall River, I'm Bill Shields, WBZ News. Jack?
Look forward to that interview, Bill. Thank you. The Federal Carrier Motor Safety Administration is going to send a team here to Massachusetts to review the truck's owner, J.P. Noonan Transportation. Well, right now, J.P. Noonan has a satisfactory safety rating, which, by the way, is the highest level. They have had 4 crashes in the past year, including this accident in Arlington last June. Inspectors will turn their findings over to our state police, and their report should be finished in about 1 week.
Well, WBZ has been looking into the driving history of the trucker involved in today's crash, and we've uncovered some photos that are raising eyebrows. Our Christina Hager joins us live now from J.P. Noonan's headquarters in West Bridgewater. Christina?
Well, Lisa, the photos in question are from the Facebook page of the driver, Lisa Korch. They were posted back in 2012, and they show various highways from the perspective of a person behind the wheel of a big rig. One shot is taken as a truck prepares to cross over the Piscataqua River Bridge between New Hampshire and Maine. You can see the perspective from the driver's view. A couple of photos show the sun setting as the truck travels the highways. Federal rules prohibit the use of handheld cell phones by truck drivers, although it's unclear if this photo was taken by a cell phone phone or a regular camera. It's also unclear exactly who the photographer was. We showed state police the photos this afternoon. They will only say the cause of the crash is under investigation. Lisa Korch, the driver, indicates on her Facebook page that she just got her approval to drive tankers a year ago.
And we are now standing outside of J.P. Noonan Trucking Company, and when I showed the owner of the company those Facebook pictures, he was clearly taken aback this afternoon. He said he's focused on the health and safety of the driver. He did confirm the company has a policy with regard to pictures like that, but he wouldn't go into detail. We also checked with officials from Massachusetts and Korch's home state of Connecticut. They say she has a clean driving record. In West Bridgewater, Christina Hager, WBZ News. Lisa.
All right, Christina, thank you. And we know it was 2 years ago that the federal government banned drivers of large trucks from using their handheld phones behind the wheel.
Well, now to the weather, and it's amazing we don't all have pneumonia. A brief break from the cold today, but temperatures, yeah, they're going right back down. Our chief meteorologist, Eric Fisher, is here with a rather chilly forecast. Eric?
New England, Jack. New England it is. You know, things can change at a dime. A lot of towns are going to drop 40 degrees between what we saw around midday and later on tonight. Big area of Arctic high pressure is building in, and you felt this Arctic front, I'm sure. As soon as it moved through your town, if you're outside, you noticed the change. And look what happened over the past 5 to 6 hours. We got the 40s and 50s. Now the teens and 20s are sweeping off toward the east. They'll make their way down the Cape over the next couple of hours. And by the time you wake up tomorrow, single digits to teens. Watching some icy spots tonight. We did have a couple of those showers. Those are freezing up. Plus wind chill advisories with the wind feeling as cold as 17 below zero. We'll talk more about this when it moves out, and some snow for tomorrow coming up. Jack?
All right, Eric, thanks so much. Well, Jerry Remy will return to the Red Sox broadcast booth. Remy took a leave of absence from his job last summer when his son Jared was charged with the murder of his girlfriend, Jennifer Martell. Remy told reporters today a few months ago he didn't think he would return, but his wife and some friends talked him into reconsidering. Remy also said he has spoken to Martell family, though he didn't tell them that this announcement was coming. Quote, I hope in no way my decision to come back to do games has a negative impact on the Martell family. I'm quite certain they understand that I have to make a living. Remy says he will not talk about his family and what happened once the broadcast season starts.
The U.S. Supreme Court will not take Sal DiMasi's case. The former House Speaker wants to appeal his conviction on corruption charges, but today the High Court said no. DiMasi now has 25 days to decide whether he will petition the court again. DiMasi has served 2 years of an 8-year sentence, and he's been treated for cancer for much of the past year.
Governor Patrick is taking more steps to examine and overhaul the Department of Children and Families after the disappearance of that little 5-year-old boy. Jeremiah Oliver is missing, and police fear that he was murdered. DCF was supposed to be watching over his family, but caseworkers lost track of the little boy. Today, the governor reported on his meetings with an outside group examining all of DCF's operations. But he said he's not replacing the head of DCF, who he defended today.
I think she knows the department and knows the people exceptionally well. I think she has shown that she is prepared to step up and be accountable and hold those who are directly responsible for these failures accountable.
Well, John Keller joins us right now, and John, as you can imagine, a lot of people very upset over what happened. Do you think this announcement is going to satisfy them today?
Well, clearly it's got the governor's attention, and what was announced today is a start, Jack. But that outside probe of DCF is far from complete, and what the governor said today raised more questions than it answered. For instance, Governor Patrick said he wants social workers to use more up-to-date technology to develop real-time data for use in child protection decisions. But given the major problems the administration's been having with IT projects lately, from the faulty Health Connector website to the unemployment insurance fiasco, that reform may be easier called for than accomplished. So it's a wait and see on that one, definitely, Jack.
Well, the governor is calling for some $12 million in new spending to try to reduce the caseloads for these social workers. That could help.
Well, it's a welcome if somewhat overdue development, but keep something in mind. The Oliver family did have a caseworker and supervisor assigned to them. They just failed to do their jobs and then, according to the state, tried to cover up their negligence.
Look, there are problems with this system involving recruitment, training, and oversight that more money and technology might not completely address. And fixing those is the broader problem for the administration going forward. But as I say, it certainly has the governor's attention.
It's a thankless job being a social worker, too.
To say the least, yeah.
Tough situation. Thank you, John, so much. You can watch the State of the Commonwealth address live here on WBZ tomorrow night starting at 7:30. Coming up on WBZ News, a mill destroyed by fire weeks ago, but the wreckage still is standing. The new consequences for the owner ignoring the cleanup.
Plus, beating the odds. A local 2-year-old getting a shot at beating leukemia thanks to a woman he's never met.
And the Arctic air is back. Some snow is on the way for tomorrow night and early Wednesday, and then the rest of the week, maybe a warm-up. We'll talk about the details.
At Bach Toyota, we are well aware that winter is the toughest time to sell. But think about it. The toughest time to sell has to be the best time to buy. This is a buyer's market. Now is a great time to buy at Bach Toyota.
Come on down.
Drive home a brand new Toyota Camry, America's best-selling automobile that gets 35 miles per gallon for just $99 per month.
Florida. Get ready for fun in the sun. Weird, it's actually winter here.
Walking my dog is one of the things I enjoy most. But then one day, my knees gave out, and suddenly, I was the one being walked. My doctor sent me to Metro West Medical Center. Together, my doctors came up with a plan to make me better. Everyone I worked with was terrific. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists. From the day I limped in to the day I trotted out, my care was seamless. Now I'm the top dog again.
To get back on your feet, call 855-6554 or go to MoveBetterMetroWest.com.
We know you see us on television quite a bit.
But happy customers are still our best form of advertising.
Here's an offer that's sure to make you happy. Buy any living room set and choose a free select set of tables. Buy a bedroom set and get a free select Sealy mattress and box spring. Buy a dining room and get $200 in free groceries. It's just our way of keeping customers happy at
I've been a commercial banking market leader for 25 years, and I'm excited to tell you that at Commerce Bank, we will meet the borrowing needs of your business. Commerce Bank is a full-service commercial bank, ready to provide loans for real estate, equipment loans, lines of credit, and any of your other banking needs. My name is Nate Pusey. I'm passionate about commercial banking and helping companies grow. Please call me, because at Commerce Bank, we are lending.
At this year's auto show, GMC has one incredible idea after another. Our most advanced Sierra ever, the versatile terrain, and our latest really big idea, the all-new Yukon. From show to showroom, this is professional grade. Current GM owners use your auto show bonus cash and trade up to this specially equipped 2014 Sierra SLE for a total value of $57.50.
The man who owned this burned-down mill in Lawrence is being ordered to tear it down. Lawrence building inspectors obtained a court order today against the mill's owner, David Padalaro. He now has to appear in housing court tomorrow. A fire on January the 13th destroyed the old mill. Padalaro is already the target of an arrest warrant on unrelated fraud charges.
New at 6, treatment that could hold the key to survival for a little boy from New Hampshire. His name is Abel Martin, and he'll have a bone marrow transplant at Boston Children's Hospital. As New Hampshire Bureau Chief Michael Rosenfield explains, it's all thanks to a stranger whose donation could save Abel's life.
Here's your idol.
The grandparents of 2-year-old Abel Martin are hoping today marks the beginning of a new life.
That he is cured, that it's a miracle, that the transplant takes.
Abel, who's from Goffstown, New Hampshire, has a form of leukemia, diagnosed almost a year ago.
He would go like this, ouchie, ouchie. And they didn't know, they just thought he had a headache, so they would give him a little bit of Tylenol. And
But it was much worse, as the Martins would learn from their son, Abel's father.
He called us and said, Mom, Dad, there's something wrong with Abel. We don't know what it is.
Abel had tumors in his head. The diagnosis would lead to chemotherapy treatments and radiation, but nothing worked. Bone marrow drives were held across the state. A 100% match was found from a stranger, a 21-year-old woman, and that's all the family knows about the donor.
I feel really lucky that they could find a match. And now we pray that his body accepts it.
Today, Abel is at Children's Hospital in Boston as he prepares for more chemotherapy or radiation before the bone marrow transplant. It'll be several weeks before doctors know if it'll save his life. From Manchester, New Hampshire, Michael Rosenfield, WBZ News.
Kind of puts life in perspective, doesn't it?
It does, and all good thoughts to that family.
Poor little Abel. Well, I'm not going to complain about the weather.
No, not at
Turning
all.
over a new leaf.
That's right. In fact, Eric, it sounds like things are actually going to look up a little bit.
You know, it always depends on perspective. There are always the folks who love the cold, they love the snow. Some people like it a little bit mild, like it was earlier on today. And we've got a little bit of everything in that mixed bag in the forecast. Today, we're up to 52 in Taunton. Boston reached 47 degrees, some 30s for the interior. There were some snow showers around the Monadnock region, some of the higher elevations of the Worcester Hills. It's all about the cold tonight, though. It is diving southward. A big chunk of sub-zero high temperatures in the upper Midwest today from the it could always be worse files. And we're looking at 29 now in Boston, teens in the Berkshires. This cold air is washing southeast. Now Chatham's into the 30s, and everyone going down and farther down to the single digits and teens by tomorrow morning. The gusty winds delivering that cold 20 to 30 miles per hour. And so when you have wind like that and the temperature's falling, you know you have wind chill. How it actually feels on your body. It feels like 8 in Worcester, 4 in North Adams, 9 in Springfield. And many of us will be feeling either the single digits or sub-zero wind chills as we head into tonight and certainly by tomorrow morning. The last of the rain showers just wrapping up, moving across Nantucket, just now out to sea. And so we should be looking at gradual clearing as we get throughout the overnight. A cold wind, some icy spots from those leftover water droplets, our showers earlier on today. Low temperatures, teens to single digits, but with that wind, again, feeling anywhere from 0 to 10 below. What it'll actually read on your thermometer by tomorrow morning sunrise, 0 in Keene, 4 in Fitchburg, Worcester down to 3, and there you see some of the teens for southeastern parts of the state in the city of Boston. So get ready for another very Arctic morning for the AM commute. Sunrise is at 7:02. Ineffective sunshine as we head through tomorrow afternoon with highs in the teens, wind chill value in the single digits. Not a very gusty breeze, but enough where it'll feel rather stinging outside. And sunset tomorrow is at 4:53. And we're watching a pretty significant southern snowstorm that's going to be getting underway tomorrow. And this one will impact our weather, coming just close enough to nick southeastern parts of the state. This is tomorrow night and into early on Wednesday morning. It's a small window. Most of this heads just off to our east. Certainly we'll be looking at increasing sun on Wednesday. Get a nice break on Thursday. And then our next weather maker brings a few flakes. It's this system by the time we head into Friday. For that snow, expecting some of the snow showers and flurries to perhaps reach as far north as Cape Ann and Boston. An inch or less for much of southeastern parts of the state. If you're on Nantucket, you might be the winner for this one, 1 to 3 inches of a fairly powdery snow. And if you're sick of all this, a pattern change is ahead. It's not terribly dramatic, but it is a change. More zonal jet stream, more active storm pattern, and the temperatures will be a little bit easier to take. Here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. Tomorrow is the worst of the cold. Those highs in the teens and wind chills in the single digits. Wednesday, we'll see increasing sun as that storm moves out. Still saying the teens to low 20s. Thursday, the 30s, which relatively should feel pretty good. A few flakes on Friday. The weekend right now is looking pretty unsettled. It's one of those setups where we're going to have to fine-tune the details as we get a little bit closer. Jack, Lisa, back to you.
All right, Eric, thank you. Bruins on a roll right now.
Gotta love them. Bruins do it.
Yeah, you just jump on that bandwagon, don't you? Lisa's already on it.
Wow.
You've been on it.
We're fans.
I know. You're right. I love you.
I go easy. Either way, you know.
Bruins, they are gunning for their 4th win in the last 5 games tonight. Yeah, exactly. Tonight when they face the Islanders on the road, the Isles are one of the worst teams in hockey. However, they are 2-0 against the Bruins this season. Jack is still laughing. Meanwhile, we are 6 days away from Super Bowl 48. 6, that's it. Down in the Meadowlands, and the weather continues to dominate the headlines. This morning, MetLife Stadium crews were cleaning out a foot of snow after a weekend storm. However, as of now, forecasters are calling for a typical winter day on Sunday. And regardless of the conditions,
neither team is getting too worked up over it.
It's not something that we're bothered by. The normal issues arise, the ball being a little bit harder to handle and the wind blowing and things like that do change the factor somewhat, but for us it's no big deal.
You can't be concerned about the environment you're playing in. There's too much going on. I'll tell you right now, I will have enough to focus on each and every play.
Well, for the first time in a long time, it felt like a playoff atmosphere last night at the Garden. The playoffs had nothing to do with it. Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett made their return with the Brooklyn Nets to face the Celtics. And Dan Roach says emotions were sky high.
Number 2, Kevin Garnett. Number 34, Paul Pierce. They were embraced by everyone, from employees, ex-teammates, front office folks, and the fans, from the moment they arrived until they said goodbye. It was a Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett love fest.
The one word that comes to mind is just unbelievable. This is the toughest game I ever had to play. Right. Tougher than any championship game, any game 7. This game was just so hard to really just focus.
Each player received a video tribute in their honor, thanking them for their time in Boston, culminated, of course, by a championship in 2008.
I was probably about 5 seconds from Chet. Right. I was 5 seconds, I admit to it. Right here.
So good.
It's no words.
First off, I looked up and then I had to compose myself before I looked back up. That's why I put my head down, threw my towel on.
And even though KG spent his first 12 seasons in Minnesota, his 6 years in Boston were unforgettable.
I think we will always bleed green as long as we're playing basketball, as long as we're living, even when they bury us 6 feet. It's just what it's going to be.
As for Pierce, it was a wonderful 15-year ride.
Through my bad times, through my immature times, through my growing up, becoming a man in this city, to winning the championship, and everybody sticking with me, staying behind me. I just like to tell them thank you.
There's no question Paul Pierce's number 34 will be hanging in the rafters among the Garden greats here for years to come. The question is, how about number 5 in Kevin Garnett? Well, in his 6 years here, he changed the culture back to where it belonged here in Boston, won a championship, and certainly left an impression none of us will soon forget. With the Celtics at the Garden, I'm Dan Roach, WBZ Sports.
Hi, Roachy. And it's fun to see Paul Pierce, and you just get the feeling he gets it now. And you see Kevin Garnett wearing green.
Well, that was a great tribute, but they deserved it.
Right. Yep, we should miss him more.
Exactly.
Thanks. Well, the CBS Evening News is coming up at 6:30.
And once again, Scott Pelley joins us live from New York City with a preview. Scott?
Jack, Lisa, great to be with you in Boston. We have a remarkable interview in the broadcast tonight, a building contractor who tells us that his life was endangered by the fact that he refused to pay bribes to build some of the Olympic venues in Sochi, Russia. A terrific story from our London bureau. We'll have that for you, and we will have the rest of the world news coming up on the CBS Evening News in about 10 minutes.
All right, Scott, thank you. Still to come, graduation rates and the students whose strides are helping Massachusetts score good grades.
You tonight. Why would a man volunteer for this? A computer in his brain. No mission is impossible.
If we fail, we are at war.
If we fail, 2,000 people die. For America's greatest weapon. They're being held in the southwest corner. How long do we have?
10 minutes before the entire Syrian government comes looking for you?
Back in Delta, we have one rule. Everybody goes home. You intelligence. Tonight, 10 minutes Central.
Bridgewater State University, serving the community, opening doors, expanding the reach of higher education.
The Bridge program at BSU has changed these students' lives. They're on a college campus working towards a dream. It has completely changed my life that I'm helping them achieve those dreams.
What we do in the FAM program is work together to find a solution. Our goal is to help students overcome, give them a different perspective on their lives. And we do this through icebreakers, team building, helps them gain a greater understanding of themselves.
They feel comfortable about talking a lot in front of people. It's helped me grow. I'm giving back to the community.
My involvement in Bridgewater State's ICE program has changed my career special education is something I'd like to pursue. I think that I've learned more from these students than they may have learned from me.
I feel more confident to work on reaching my goals.
Bridgewater State, your community's university.
Road gripping, symmetrical, all-wheel drive, standard. The Outback was awarded Top Safety Pick Plus by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. Drive home a brand new Subaru Outback, well equipped at $23,795.
There's something to be said about good leather. It lasts forever, just like my old baseball glove. And leather furniture lasts a long time, too. Right now, buy any leather living room for $14.99 or more, and you'll get 2 free tickets to see the Red Sox home opener at Fenway. Or 2 free tickets to see the Red Sox play New York at Fenway. Tickets are limited, so don't wait. The perfect leather living room and up to 48 months no interest financing. The only tough decision will be, which game?
Massachusetts make the grade, and here's the proof. The graduation rate for kids who finish high school in 4 years is up for the 7th straight year, and it appears that the achievement gap is shrinking. That may be the best news. Students for whom English is a second language saw graduation rates jump almost 2.5%. Hispanic student graduation rates up 1.3%, and low-income students, they saw a 1.2% increase, just about that same rate. Jack?
Well, congratulations to him, Lisa. Thank you. Well, with laughter and tears, friends and family said goodbye today to legendary TV news anchor Chet Curtis. Curtis was honored at a funeral mass today at St. Cecilia Parish in Boston. Curtis's daughters spoke. They praised their father for what he taught them and how he treated the people he encountered every day. Curtis's oldest daughter said a trip to visit her father at WCVB was never a quick trip because he talked to everybody he saw.
He'd poke his head into an editing room and wish the intern good luck on exams. He'd ask the lady in the cafeteria how her child was doing in preschool. He'd share a funny line with a colleague walking by. He knew something about everyone and in his own genuine way forged relationships with them all.
I knew Chet for 40 years. We were competitors but always remained friends. Chet Curtis died last week of pancreatic cancer. He was only 74.
Leaves a great legacy. We'll be back right after this.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Honda. Start something special with great leases and low financing on a new Honda. Visit shophonda.com or visit your local Honda dealer.
Good afternoon, everybody. As promised, the flakes flying.
When winter weather hits New England,
Another snowstorm. This one could bring a half foot.
WBZ Chief Meteorologist Eric Fisher covers it like no one else.
Now at the mobile Accuweather lab, this is where we're going to be seeing most of the snow stacked up. Let's talk about some of the storm headlines. This is the real deal. Conditions are just right in the atmosphere. We've got about 3.5 to 4 inches on the ground here. As we head through the night, that mix line starts to move in.
Join Eric Fisher and go wherever the weather takes him. Weeknights on WBZ News.
A man pioneers a way to see the unseen. Radar. Forever providing safer journeys. The Mazda 6 uses radar in its available class-exclusive suite of 7 safety features for greater confidence behind the wheel. Introducing the Mazda 6. What do you drive? Now, get the 2014 Mazda 6 with Skyactiv technology for 0.9% APR for 60 months.
Life is full of surprises, some good, some not so good. Don't get caught by surprise. Ask an independent agent about safety insurance enhanced coverage for auto, home, and business. Safety insurance will help you manage life's storms.
Love to ski but hate the drive?
Ski Bradford.
15 trails, 100% snow making.
Lessons for all ages.
Snack bar, rentals, large base lodge.
Ski Bradford, ski close to home.
Before COPD, I took my son fishing every year.
We had a great spot. Not easy to find, but worth it. But with COPD making it hard to breathe, I thought those days might be over. So my doctor prescribed Symbicort. It helped significantly improve my lung function starting within 5 minutes. Symbicort doesn't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden symptoms. With Symbicort, today I'm breathing better, and that means fish on.
Symbicort is for COPD, including chronic bronchitis and emphysema. It should not be taken more than twice a day. Symbicort contains formoterol. Medicines like formoterol increase the risk of death from asthma problems. Symbicort may increase your risk of lung infections, osteoporosis, and some eye problems. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it.
With COPD, I thought I'd miss our family tradition. Now Symbicort significantly improves my lung function starting within 5 minutes, and that makes a difference in my breathing. Today, we're ready for whatever swings our way. Ask your doctor about Symbicort. I got my first prescription free. Call or click to learn more.
Here is the Prius liftback. Its hybrid technology is acclaimed as genius. Over here are Roxanne and Joe from New England, first-time Prius owners. Their Prius gets 50 mpg by automatically switching between a gas engine and a battery-powered motor. And that battery has an incredible 10-year, 150,000-mile warranty. So they know their Prius and its hybrid battery will go the distance. Toyota Prius. A very, very smart choice. Toyota. Let's go places.
Tonight at 11 on WBZ News, couples fight more about money than anything else. But what happens when one spouse has complete control of bank accounts and credit cards? Extreme and potentially dangerous. The warning signs that could mean you're living with a financial bully tonight at 11.
Well, Marcy's tough, but I wouldn't call her a bully. Honest, honey, honest.
Wise woman. Thanks for being with us.